Good evening, this is the Oscar expert here with Brother Bro at the Sundance Film Festival, and it's time to review Rye Lane. This is the directorial debut of Rain Allen Miller, a spectacular debut, I may add, and it's about two young people who meet by chance one day and spend the day together and relate over their recent breakups.
Now, I'll just say it right off the bat, this ranks up there with the best debut films that I have seen. You know, we're talking a list that includes Krisha by Trey Edward Schultz, Whiplash, and Shiva Baby. Those three actually came to mind because this film has an energy that is like unstoppable. You just feel like this director is so assured. Every department is just like firing in the same direction. And even though the story is very simple, the direction alone just elevates it to a magnificent level. And I think for the most part, what the film is evoking is just like a pure, unabashed joy. It's at times hilarious, extremely romantic, and it's just a lot of fun. It's super fast-paced, maximalist style.
It is just an absolute blast. I was thrilled with this movie from start to finish. And again, really, it is just about like these two people connecting and walking around and like doing various crazy things together. And it's just infused with this love for life. It's about people who are recovering from breakups, a point in your life where you might feel like the joy is hard to find. The way it uses this location, Rye Lane, this very cool street in the UK, highlighting all the colors and the different kind of quirky people and places around. It also serves as an ode to this place. The mise-en-scène in this film is also off the charts. There's like little treats in the background of lots of these shots, and it is just one of the most colorful movies I can think of.
Sometimes just on aesthetics alone, I was moved because, you know, I saw another film at Sundance that I didn't like so much right before this one, and in comparison, it was like, wow, every single detail, every color that you're using to paint this frame with just feels so perfect and intentional, and it's just like filling me with joy. I really was just beaming throughout the film, and it was a great experience with a crowd. Although I think it's going straight to Hulu, which makes me think no theatrical release, which would be a shame.
It's also coming out in late March.
I'm also happy for the visibility because this is truly a film I could recommend to anybody. It's also a breezy 82 minutes.
The minute per minute energy is astounding.
I think the performance elevated this film to what is the greatest version of what it could have been. David Johnson plays a sort of boring accountant type, and his character, as the film goes on, begins to express more range than you might expect initially, and the actor portrayed that wonderfully. And then we have a stunning, I would say probably the standout performance from Vivian Opera. Her energy is just infectious, and kind of like the other character, we see some of her layers unravel and she becomes extremely believable. And the entire ensemble is giving performances that just feel like very cohesive. They're actually kind of stylized performances in a way. They're a little bit larger than life, but they're all like working together on the same page. I think you would have really noticed if there was a weak link in this cast.
Before even the first frame, where just some bouncy music is playing, I was like, oh shit, we're in for like a really fun movie. I was kind of like, there's no way that it's gonna keep being like this the whole time. Like,
yeah, because the opening shot is awesome.
You're gonna dwindle down, like something's gonna hapen where it's like not gonna work, and it's like, no. No,
I thought I was going there too.
The whole 82 minutes. It's tight.
I mean, I would say like the middle was a little bit like, okay, I wonder if we're gonna end on the high that I feel like this movie could reach, and then the end is just a knockout. Like I didn't even see it coming.
Yeah, I thought of the more boring, typical way this movie could have ended, and it did not choose to do that because it knew exactly what movie it was trying to be. It held on to the substance of the rest of the film, and it really like hit that home in the end of the movie. I have criticized even like Wes Anderson's film a little bit for like, I think the style is kind of there just to be like really fun to look at, and there's nothing wrong with it, but I would not accuse this movie of just being stylish to be stylish. There's absolutely a purpose to the heightened energy of everything in this movie. If there's anywhere where this movie dipped like a little bit for me, it was maybe towards the point where like the conflict is kind of supposed to happen, and it happens very quickly and very fast all at once. This is a nitpick though in the grand scheme of this movie, which I found to be an utter delight, like literally just eating cinematic candy.
Yeah.
I was thrilled with this movie. I was elated. I came out just happy.
This movie made me fall in love with movies again, I would say.
How long were you out of love with movies before this?
I don't know, but it's sometimes, you know, you go through a lot of movies and you just feel like, okay, this is good, or like, you know, I would like to see this elevated to another level, but, you know, this is just good enough. And this film just had an energy that I had not seen before, and it made me excited for this director and what her future is.
At best, I think you could even say this movie makes you fall in love with life. It wants you to believe that there is a grand, spectacular movie in your own life. And whether or not you will get that or sustain it, you should believe that it exists. I give this movie like a high 9 out of 10. Like, this will probably be on my top 10 of this year.
I'm like kind of between a 9 and a 10, but I have only like really, really good feelings about this movie. So I think I'm just going to go with a 10, and I have not given that many 10s to movies last year. I think there's like only 2.
I'm kind of worried that this movie could go under the radar on Hulu, or just kind of comes and goes.
What if it's one of those Sundance things that's like hyped up from the festival, and then people like finally sit down to watch on their couch, and they're like, yeah, that was good, but they didn't have the energy in the room. Like, who knows what could happen? I hate to hype up a movie and then, you know, it falls short of someone's expectations, but this truly did mean what I said to me, so I'm gonna leave it at that.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing.
What lane do you live on?